Hi, thanks for joining us today. We're taking a really exciting journey through 9 gifts of the Holy Spirit. We've looked at 3 seeing gifts, that's wisdom, discernment and knowledge. 3 speaking gifts, that's prophecy, tongues and interpretation. And today we start to look at the 3 doing gifts, the gifts of action. And the first one that we're looking at today is the gift of faith, faith which changes everything. And I'm really thrilled to be joined by Oli and Amy. Oli and Amy, I've seen in your lives down through the years beautiful, powerful, miracle-working faith in action. And just thank you for sharing a little bit of what you've learned about the gift of faith. So, Amy, can we start? Could you describe to us, how does faith work?
Yeah, so obviously when we know Jesus, we live a life filled with faith. But we believe that the gift of faith is when God gives us faith for a specific situation. So we come up against an obstacle or there's an impossibility in our lives, and God intervenes and he gives us the gift of faith.
Fantastic. So those moments of faith when suddenly you believe powerfully for a miracle. Oli, can you describe how that's worked for you in your life?
Yeah, we've had it happen on lots of different occasions. Yeah. One thing very specific is that we've had God speak into a situation. So we kind of come up against an obstacle, something that's really difficult, and then we go, God, what do we do about this? And then God speaks into the situation, and faith rises as a result of what he said. And so one example is that the end of last year, I had a consultant tell me that it's very likely I have an autoimmune disease. And we were like, whoa, that's pretty big. And we turned to God, and God spoke really powerfully to you, didn't he? And said, no, that is not the case, and pray specifically against that. So gift of faith rose in us because we believe what God is saying in this situation, that I don't have an autoimmune disease. And so that's what we've been praying for the last 6 months, and we've just had the all clear. I do not have an autoimmune disease.
Wow,
So,
I love this.
Amazing.
I really love that heaven is searching the earth for faith. And when heaven sees faith, it loves to go there. The power of God is searching for faith. Faith is like the lightning conductor that brings God's power to earth. And that's a beautiful example where God just waits for your faith and then sends the miracle. Amy, can you share a story of how that's worked in your lives as well?
Yeah, when we were looking to purchase our house, we came across this particular home, and I'd said to Oli, we have to go and see it, because I felt a stirring in me from God, and it was out of our budget, and we went to see it, and we loved it, and we believed that was the house that God had for us. And faith rose in us. God gave us that gift of faith to believe that was our house when he spoke to us again, and it was that naturally there was no means of us purchasing that house, and I came up with, in my mind, lots of elaborate ways that God was. He'd said to us that was our house, so how was he going to answer that prayer, or answer that promise, sorry, but he made a way.
I love how, Amy, as you've described there, how practical faith is, that it invades our health and our houses. It invades the everyday, doesn't it? And brings the power of God right to earth. The gifts of the Spirit are how the supernatural touches our life. I'm really interested in these moments of faith. I'm interested in the outcome of it, of what happens within us when we experience faith and it brings a miracle. Oli, what do you feel is the output, the outcome in our lives of moments of faith like this?
Yeah, well, I think that the gift of faith is obviously for a specific situation, and then it leaves a deposit in us, and that helps us to live lives that are even more full of faith. So with my autoimmune disease, we were amazed that God had healed me, I suppose, or made it so that I didn't have an autoimmune disease. But then the result has been that the next 6 months we've been living life even more full of faith than we were before. And so the gift of faith is for a situation, and it changes that situation. And then the result is that our lives just have more faith in them. We are more rich. We are more richly full of faith as a result of it.
Wow. Oli, Amy, thank you so much. We just want to encourage you, whatever you face in life, dare to ask God for the gift of faith. And faith performs miracles. Let's journey forward and see the supernatural in action in our lives. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Oli and Amy. God bless you.